The little girl's voice trembled as she whispered in the toy aisle, holding a worn-out Barbie box. "Mommy, can I just hold it for a minute?" Her mother's eyes glistened, her hands shaking as she gently took the doll away. "Sweetheart," she said softly, "Mommy can't afford this right now." The girl nodded, forcing a smile, but the pain in her eyes said it all. What neither of them knew was that the man standing behind them in that very aisle was about to change their lives forever. And when the truth came out about who he really was, the world would never forget that day. Rain trickled down the cracked window pane of a tiny apartment on the outskirts of the city. Inside, Sarah Miller, a single mother in her early 30s, sat at a small table littered with bills, her tired eyes moving between overdue notices and her daughter's drawing taped proudly to the fridge, "Me and Mommy at my birthday." Her daughter, Lily, was about to turn 6. All she wanted, a Barbie doll. Not a fancy gadget. Not a bike. Just a doll with shiny hair and a pink dress. But life had been cruel to Sarah lately. She had lost her job at the diner 2 months ago after missing shifts to care for Lily, who had been sick. The rent was overdue, and their groceries were running thin. Still, Sarah smiled through every hardship. She didn't want Lily to see her break. That morning, she checked her wallet, 3 wrinkled dollar bills and a few coins. Not even enough for the cheapest toy. "Mommy," Lily's tiny voice called from the other room, "can we go see the dolls at the big store today? I just want to look." Sarah's heart clenched, but she couldn't say no to that innocent smile. "Of course, baby," she whispered. "We can look." At the Toymart superstore, bright lights shimmered over rows of colorful toys. Laughter filled the aisles, children holding balloons, parents pushing carts full of gifts. But Sarah walked slowly, her hands gripping her old handbag tightly, pretending to look like any other mom, though her heart was heavy. Lily's eyes sparkled as she ran toward the Barbie section. She picked one with golden hair and a pink dress. "Mommy, this one. She looks like the princess from my dream." Sarah smiled softly, crouching down. "She's beautiful, sweetheart." Then came the words that broke her heart. "Mommy, can I get her for my birthday?" Sarah's throat tightened. She bent closer, her voice trembling. "Sweetheart, I can't afford a Barbie for your birthday." Lily went silent for a moment, her small fingers tracing the edge of the box. Then she looked up, forcing a tiny smile. "It's okay, Mommy. Maybe next time. Can I just hold her for a minute?" That's when it happened. A man nearby overheard everything. He stood in silence, wearing a sharp gray suit but holding no expression on his face. The man had come into the store to buy gifts for a charity event. But now, his eyes followed that mother and child as if time had frozen. When Sarah gently took the Barbie box from Lily and returned it to the shelf, he noticed the faint tear Lily quickly wiped away and the pain in Sarah's forced smile. He didn't know their names. But something inside him stirred, a memory long buried. As Sarah led Lily out of the store, the man took a deep breath and followed from a distance. Outside, she knelt down, wrapped her daughter in her arms, and said, "One day, Mommy will get you everything you dream of, okay?" Lily nodded, whispering, "You already do, Mommy." The man clenched his jaw. "That child reminds me of someone I once knew." And without saying a word, he made a silent promise, he would find them again. 2 days later, Sarah's birthday preparations were simple, just a tiny homemade cake and paper decorations Lily had cut out herself. They sang together, laughed together, and for a moment, Sarah felt peace. Then came a knock on the door. Sarah froze. She wasn't expecting anyone. Carefully, she opened it and gasped. Outside stood the same man from the toy store, holding a large pink box wrapped in silver ribbon. "I'm sorry for intruding," he said kindly. "Are you Sarah Miller?" She hesitated. "Yes, but, do I know you?" He smiled gently. "My name's Ethan Blake. I was at the toy store the other day." Her cheeks flushed with embarrassment. "Oh," she started, but he raised a hand softly. "No need to explain. You reminded me of someone very dear to me." He handed her the box. "This is for Lily." Sarah tried to refuse, her voice trembling. "I can't accept." Please, Ethan said, his eyes glistening. It's from one parent to another. Lily ran to the door and gasped when she saw the big box. Mommy! Is that for me? Sarah's eyes filled with tears. She nodded slowly. When Lily opened it, her face lit up. It was the Barbie. The exact same one she had held at the store. Thank you, mister, she squealed, hugging him around the waist. Ethan knelt down, smiling warmly. Happy birthday, princess. But before leaving, he quietly handed Sarah an envelope. There's something else inside. Please, open it when you're ready. He walked away, disappearing down the hall before Sarah could say a word. Inside the envelope was a note and a business card. The note read, When I was a child, my single mother couldn't afford toys either. A stranger once helped us, and it changed our lives. I want to do the same for you. Come to this address tomorrow morning. There's a position waiting for you at Blake Enterprises. No charity, just opportunity. Ethan Blake, CEO, Blake Enterprises. The next morning, Sarah dressed in her best clothes and went to the address. It was a towering glass building in the heart of the city. When she walked into the lobby, the receptionist greeted her by name. Mr. Blake is expecting you. Sarah was stunned as she was led into his office, a room filled with awards and photographs of charity events. Ethan stood up, smiling warmly. Welcome, Sarah. I need a personal assistant who understands real struggle, real heart. You have both. Tears streamed down her cheeks. I don't know what to say. He smiled. Say yes. And she did. Sunrise epilogue 1 year later. Lily ran around the spacious office, her laughter echoing as Sarah signed papers on her desk. On the shelf stood that same Barbie doll, a reminder of where it all began. Ethan looked on proudly. You've done incredible work, Sarah. I knew you would. Sarah smiled, eyes glistening. You didn't just give us a doll, you gave us a new life. He replied softly, sometimes, the smallest kindness becomes someone's biggest miracle. As the camera fades out, Lily hugs her Barbie and whispers. Thank you, Mr. Ethan. You made Mommy smile again. Direct hit final message. No act of kindness is ever wasted. Even the smallest gesture can change someone's entire world.